Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's Tammy coming to you live for Wake and Bake mornings. And it is Friday, February the 25th. This month has gone by with a blink of an eye. It has gone. Hang on a second here. Um, so, welcome. Sorry, y'all. I am discombobulated. I have had a terribly rough night. That's why I'm about 10 minutes going live late. I was trying to get my life together. I've been up since 4 a.m., 3 a.m. I haven't been in bed really. I got back in bed after like getting up and down all night. We've had some weather here in Virginia, and it has been a busy week. Like it has been such a busy week, and I'm so very, very grateful. So thank y'all all for that. But I did not, because I got so high on that brownie night before last that I took a little small piece of brownie last night earlier, and then I was going to go back and eat the rest of it to kind of, because the night before last, man, that brownie knocked me on my butt and put me to sleep all night. But last night, Red got the munchies, I guess, because he ate his pineapple upside down cake and the rest of my brownie. So I don't know how he's surviving today, but he obviously slept and is doing well. Where I am on the struggle bus today because I was up and down all night with this whole arm from like here all the way down. Like my shoulder got frozen. So it's just this RA and lupus stuff, y'all. It is I've got to do better with honoring myself. And today I'm going to do that, right? I'm caught up on orders. I have to bake. I've already made the cookies. I have to bake some off today. And then I am working on a elevated recipe this weekend, a specialty recipe to have this really special cake ready for Monday, and then another one, the exact same cake again on Friday. So I'm excited to elevate some of a special recipe for a birthday prize. So good morning. Melanie, did you get your package yet? Um, I could tell you weren't having a good time at the time when you made that last post here. Hope things start getting better. Yeah, that was 4 o'clock. I actually got, so yesterday we did 420. It's 420 somewhere live. We did a whole terpene and a whole 101 on cannabis. And I was actually, I started smoking this bowl at 420. I packed this bowl at 418 this morning and hit it the first time at 420. I was like, damn. I was like, only thing is I was like, I should go live. Like, hey, it's 420 somewhere. It's 420 a.m. But yeah. And then I don't know about y'all. This is what we're talking about tonight, right? Tonight. It feels like tonight. Um, let's talk about that, right? Because things are not always sunshine and unicorn and rainbow farts. We talk about this all the time. And it's TGIF. It's Friday. It's supposed to be like the exciting end of the week, right? Good morning. But what we find out is this, right? We have, I'm anxiously waiting for it. It should be here today, okay? It should definitely be there today. But I feel like we are living in this certain way these days, and the world is kind of wonky. And today we're going to put some good energy out to each other, and we're going to put some good energy out to the world. And I need it, and y'all need it, and that's what these groups are about. It's a place to come for some refuge, right? It's a place to come for some respite and some woosah and some edibles and all the things. So what I'm going to do today, number one, is I made 4 dozen Love Spell cookies yesterday. I think it's actually 3 dozen. I made 3 dozen. They're all balled up, ready to bake off. I've got an order for 6 of those today, right? I've got an order for a 6-pack of Love Spell cookies that I'm going out today. They're going to pick them up today. And I like to bake things like if you're picking up local, or I know that you're going to pay your invoice on Friday, I try to make things as close to when you're going to have them in your hand to guarantee the freshest product that I can. So I went ahead and made the dough. It's a sugar cookie dough. And so I put it in the fridge, let it rest. Then I go ahead and I make it into the individual sizes, and I cover it and put it back in so I can just pull the balls out and bake those to order. Love Spill cookies. I am going to 100% bake off another couple for me, right? A couple for me. Because what I was saying the other day, right, about how honoring yourself and taking care of yourself and doing all of the things, sometimes as people, as you know it, sometimes you don't do it for yourself like you should, right? Sometimes you don't take care of yourself the way that you know that you should, especially when you know what you're supposed to do and you help others. For me, that's the case, right? I know, like, when I talk to y'all and y'all ask me questions, I'm like, here's the plan. Here's what you can do. And I talked about this the other day. I think it was like, practice what you preach was the message I was giving. Practice what you preach. And last night when I was up, and I think that the universe does this sometimes, like it causes like, okay, you're going to feel this tonight because I need you to like listen to what I'm saying. This is what I call 2x4 therapy. This is what I call not listening to your mental body and it affects your physical body, right? And one of the other things I talked about, right, was a couple of months ago, I told a story. I don't know if you were here for that. So do me a favor, tag somebody in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from today. I'm live in a couple of places, and I'm in Hometown Hippie, and I am in the Tammy Nelson's YouTube group. So if you are on YouTube watching this, this is Wake and Bake Mornings. Give me a subscribe and a like. You know what? It's time to open a new muscle rub, and I need to find it real quick because I put all my inventory away. But I need some CBD. Yeah, you know me. Yep. These are brand new out of my inventory. I just put my inventory box away. And I realized last night when I was up that I was out. So I'm sorry. So a couple months ago, I talked about chasing. I told this story about my sister was coming home from work, and it was kind of funky and rainy out on River Road. And she says she comes around the bend, and there is this older gentleman and a little beagle or pit bull puppy or something. And the puppy is just running its face off, and the man is just looking exacerbated, right? He's just looking exacerbated, calling the dog, chasing the dog, trying to get this puppy into his car and back to his house, right? And my sister said that, her initial response was, I got to go to home. I don't know this person. And then she said she kept watching it, and she saw the exacerbation, and she stopped her car to help him and give him a little bit of advice. And yes, I am slathering this on my body because it helps. It is a CBD muscle rub, and man, it feels like heaven when I get this in. So she said, hey, she said, can I help you? And he's like, I've been trying. This dog has been running for miles. It got out of the yard, and I need to get it back home, blah, blah, blah. My sister's like, well, stop. The dog thinks you're playing with it. The dog is going to run while you're chasing it because things that chase. If you're chasing something, you're chasing, its job is to not be caught, right? So when you're chasing something, it's going to continue to run from you. So that was her take on this man chasing this dog, but the dog was never going to stop because the dog's job in that relationship, right, was to run away. He thought they were playing. He's a dog. He was being chased. If you're being chased, then your job is to do what, right? To avoid capture, to avoid being caught. And so she told that story where so much I saw this guy trying to catch his dog. I said, stop chasing it, blah, blah, blah. Now, she was just telling the story because she's like, the dog, she was looking at it from the dog standpoint, like the dog's being chased. And as more he ran after the dog, the more the dog ran from him. She never saw the bigger picture and the epiphany and the whole message that she gave me, like a couple Sunday sermons out of that. I was like, that is brilliant. So, I say all the time, right? So a couple of months ago when I heard that story, I decided, right, I've got a little note over here, that I was no longer, right, that I was no longer going to chase money. I felt like I was always chasing money, right? And I was like, I am no longer chasing money. That which belongs to me will come to me. I will attract it if I stop and be still. Because she told her, she's like, stop and get down to the dog's level and be still. and the dog's gonna. And she said that the guy like she said, just trust me. He stopped because he's like, I've tried everything else, no problem. So he crouched down, and the dog stopped running immediately. She said because she was so excited about the story, turned around and came back and licked all over his face. So had he stopped and stood in the knowing that the dog was his, that he was that dog's owner, that the dog belonged, that the dog loved him, the dog wanted to be with him. The dog was just running because it was being chased. The dog was doing its job. It was running because he was a chaser. They were playing a game, right? So it was like an epiphany. When I tell you all that when you need to listen to your angels, guides, and helpers, when you need to listen to God, when you need to listen to answered prayers, it is not always the way in which you believe that it will come in. This is not how I knew some man on River Road in Cumberland losing his puppy, my sister happening upon him to figure this out, then to tell me the story a month later or a couple of weeks later. And then for me to utilize this, and it makes such a sense to me. You don't know how God works. You don't know how prayers are answered. You don't know how he's going to send the answer to your prayers. So you've got to be open to receive it. You've got to be open to receive it, right? And for me, that's what I did, right? I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm always running after the dollar, right? The exchange of energy. I'm trying to make a dollar, make a dollar, make a dollar, always worried and never, ever let down because it always happens, right? And so for me, it was not these glasses. If y'all could see how nasty these things are, I feel like they have butter and sugar on. That's all they are, butter and sugar. Everything in my life is butter and sugar, though it feels like. Let's see here. I just got a message from someone, and I love these. It says, that pineapple upside down cake is it! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. And it's got the picture of the guy standing in the bathroom with the shower bar. And it says, me, these edibles ain't shit. 20 minutes later on the train to work. So I love that because she has high tolerance. And she's someone who ate a whole brownie. She's like, it didn't knock me out, but it mellowed me out. I'm like, girl, I don't know what to tell you because this brownies kicked my ass. So for her not to feel the brownies, and again, not everything's for everybody. So pineapple upside down cakes is it. So that's really happy. But so what I said is that I'm not chasing money anymore. I'm going to stand in the knowing and the being that all of my needs are met, right? All of my needs are met. That which belongs to me, that was my mantra. That which belongs to me will come to me, right? Now, how many of you feel like most of your life is spent chasing something? Chasing the idea, chasing the dream, chasing a man, chasing a woman, chasing the kids, chasing the dogs, chasing the money, chasing whatever, right? They even call it chasing the dream, right? Here's the thing. That which is chased is going to continue to run. That which is chased is doing its job. It's going to run from you, right? I'm going to stop and I'm going to stand in the knowing that that which is mine will come to me easily and without problem, right? Now, easier said than done. Because even though I stopped chasing money, I don't chase money. Money comes to me easily, flows to me in all sorts of perfect ways. But I chase other things. I chase other things, right? Always chasing. We're always chasing. Even like for me, I'm like, I really want to catch a buzz, right? I'm chasing that buzz. Like some days, like today, I hurt. Today, the weather is coming in and I am not ahead of it, right? And that's what I love about like my edibles and my cannabis medicine usually is that I stay ahead of it. I did not stay ahead of it because, we all do the stupid stuff. I got way, 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 way wonky on Wednesday night. Wednesday night. And then last night, I said, I took a little bitty piece. Like I need to get on a better dosing schedule for this. And I did not take care of me or honor me by looking at the weather. I have not had I haven't had a chance to look at TV. Like I found out Ukraine was invaded and I turned it on after that. But honestly, practice what you preach, right? Practice what you preach. So, because sometimes you get behind the 8 ball on pain, then I'm chasing, right? So this morning, I made a decision. I made a decision this morning. A couple of things have transpired in my world as of late that are personal things in my life. Over the last year, I've told y'all that some relationships that I have apparently are no longer serving. They're no longer serving me because I am not, I'm starting to realize, right, that a lot of relationships that you are in, I want you to, and I'm saying this because um, even those of us who kind of like have a platform and we're going to talk, this is way more than I thought, but we're going to do it anyhow. It's only 15 minutes in, so we have some time, right? But, we talked about the other day, again, if you haven't watched the other videos, you don't have to. I'm going to catch you up, like chasing, I'm catching you up. But we talked the other day a lot about practice what you preach, right? And that's where I kind of fall flat sometimes. Like, I know what I'm supposed to do, and I can give you the advice to do it. And if I do it, if you do it, it works. But sometimes, like everyone else, to fail is human, right? And I'm very much human, and I get caught up and I forget to do the things that I know to do. So I know how to do it. It's just that I don't always practice what I preach. And so that's why it's called practice, right? Because we're always a work in progress and we're practicing. But as when you get, I got one part of my life kind of like down pat, right? I kind of stood in the power of knowing that I always find a way. I'm a hard worker. My bills are always going to be paid. I'm not a rich person. I'm not. I can't go out and just drop money on things. I don't. I have to be frugal because everybody else, this inflation is awful, all the things. But um, I but sometimes you focus on one part, right? You silo your life and you focus on this thing, and then while all of the walls are falling down here. So, number one, I really start taking stock in relationships. And I looked at my phone and I looked at people in my life who are like friends and family and relationships and all, people who I have relationships with that are outside of maybe Facebook or business related, that are more like personal relationships, right? And not that you are not personal, because you are, but I'm saying like those other relationships, right? Those BFF, those familial, those whatever, those loves, all the things. And I started looking at how often I called to check on other people or message other people, and how often that same thing was reciprocated. And it's not about keeping score, but it's about, I started feeling a certain way about things, and I was called to do it. And so I always feel like a lot of times that's just kind of like, for me, the proof is in the pudding. So sometimes I get skewed because you get into your emotions, right? So when you're trying to separate fact from fiction, it's good to get empirical evidence. And people who are in relationships with me sometimes are, I'm a Libra, so I'm very much going to like show its balance, because even if I'm wrong in things, I want to take ownership of it. So I looked at it and I'm like, nobody really, and I'm not, and it's interesting. It's like nobody really checks on me, like, and then I started justifying, and I was like, well, I'm on Facebook Live all the time, like, and they see me, and I'm very out there, and maybe that's why, right? Maybe that's why that people just don't, think to check in, right? But then you go back. I did not expect this. This is what happens when you don't sleep. I did not expect it to hurt my feelings the way that it obviously has when I went into the evidence, right? And then I Googled the spiritual meaning of all of this, because there's always an emotional body meaning. And when you have pain in your body, it's usually blocked energy, right? It's usually blocked energy. And it was very much tied to one-sided relationships. It was very much tied to being like let down and having to bear the weight of the world on one shoulder. And it's all about the right side, and that you hurt on this side because you are doing this to protect your heart, to protect your heart. And let me tell y'all what, that you think I wanted to go to sleep. That did not help me go to sleep. That just opened up a whole new can of worms. So I'm going to tell y'all, if you are struggling, right? If you're struggling with pain in your body, if you're struggling with feeling like you're always like chasing something, you need to stop chasing. You need to stand in the knowing. And if I'm going to tell you, I said to myself, I actually have been writing this, I'm big on journaling, and this is kind of where I bring it. So Heather says, I feel what you're saying. Since I started my journey, so many people have fell off because they don't agree with my truth. And since I've started pulling the weeds, my phone and doorbell have been so silent. Most of the people I talk to now have never seen face to face, so I get it. And it really does kind of like, it hurts your heart, right? It hurts your heart because when you start this journey, and when I started this journey, it was because I wanted to be a better version and a more solid version and a more helpful version to the exact people who are now choosing to walk away. I was working on me. And that's, the other lesson I got, right? It was like, it's not for them, it's for you. And we're showing you that you have to put you first by removing those people who you thought were more important than you. And I'm like, but I love those people. And they're like, yeah, but you have to love yourself more. And the more that you love people before you, the more we're going to show you their true selves. The more that the universe just keeps revealing and revealing and revealing, right? That you have to identify your divinity. Not everything is for everybody, and not everyone is for everybody, right? It is hard. And my journal says this, right? And I was like, but I'm sad, right? It hurts my heart. It makes me sad. But here's the journal entry. But it hurts my heart and makes me sad. And this is very vulnerable to share this, but I feel like you ladies and gentlemen need to see how this works itself out. I feel like sharing this is important, or I wouldn't be sharing it. It says, but my heart is already hurt and I'm already sad. So this new hurt and sadness will be temporary and not a constant blow week after week, day after day. I'm just saying this because when inside of relationships and friendships, when you start feeling beat up, it's hard to see that you're chasing. You're chasing something that is not there. So many people feel like they're the only ones suffering through this. I talk about mental health and the struggles and the anxiety and all of the energy of this world and the ascension, and how if you're here, you're obviously a starseed, a light worker, all the things, right? You're meant to be in this soul circle. You're meant to hear these messages. But no, and here, like, y'all are great. It's those real things that I have to work with. And each of you is what I'm saying. Like, this is something that I don't struggle with alone. And I guarantee you some of the people that have caused me tears are dealing with the same feelings, right? And here's what I'm going to tell you about that, right? Remember that you love them and I love them no less. Like, I'm not like changing the amount of love I have in my heart for them. What I realized was, right? How do you stop chasing? How do you stop chasing that, right? Money, not chasing money is hard, is easy to me. That was easy to me, right? So I'm going to commit to the process and detach from the outcome. It was a monetary thing. It was a physical piece of paper. It was something that I did not have a love feeling. I didn't have a heart tug for, right? Now, when it comes to the people who you love, your family members, like parents, even, husbands, wives, sisters, brothers, cousins, nieces, nephews, grandparents, whatever that may, best friends, old friends, new friends, whatever, right? Here's what I'm telling you. When you have to apply that to things in your life where you have that emotional tie, when that ego and that emotional body gets involved, right? Where you don't want things to fail, you don't want it to be your fault, where there's another person involved, you feel a need to have like some aside and all the things, right? So how do you stop chasing those things? How do you stop chasing a healthy marriage, right? Without being a shitty partner? Like, how do I balance, right? Honoring my truth, right? Honoring my truth And being in love and being in a relationship with someone, right? How do you, and then if it's two-sided, I'm just giving that as an example, or a sister or a dad or a brother or a mom or a child, whatever it may be, right? There's another person involved in that. So we have trouble stopping chasing that because it can talk back. Money can't talk back, right? Money can't talk back. People can. Money doesn't have a side. People do. And we're so afraid of how we're going to look in the whole thing, right? And when you talk about stop chasing, well, if I'm going to look self-centered, we go. That's where the ego takes over and keeps us in these places that are not meant for us. Does that make sense to anybody? Can I get a hell yeah, a hallelujah, amen on this wake and bake, right? So what I've decided was to just love myself more, right? Start sharing the load. Start sharing the load of relationships. And if in the relationship you're the one whose heart's hurting and you know that your heart's hurting, then give yourself more in that relationship. Love yourself more. So here's what I'm telling people. Like I wrote this journal out and I was like, actions speak louder than words, right? I am all out of words for people. I am going to send them, my higher self is going to send their higher self all the love and light that I can, but I'm no longer chasing. And it's not that I don't love, it's not that I don't care, it's not that none of those things. It's that all relationships should be this way. Now, I don't believe you should be 50-50. I believe it should be 100 and 100. I believe in any relationship that you're in your world, right? You should give 100% of what you have to that relationship, and they should give 100% of what they have for that relationship, right? Now, there's going to be times in life where the 100% that you have to give doesn't look like the 100% you had yesterday. What I had to give you last Friday for Wake and Bake might not be the same as I gave you today as far as like what you need, but it was 100% of what I had. And when I stand in the knowing that I am doing everything that I can do 100% of my ability, I have to let go and release control of what your 100% looks like, right? I have to. But I'm no longer, right? I'm going to stand in the knowing that those things that are mine, and those things that aren't. And if they're not for me, then I'm not going to stress over having to release those things anymore, over having to let those things go anymore. Sometimes it's hard to get rid of that does not serve you, right? Sometimes we love the things that do not serve us, right? I love carbohydrates. They do not serve me. I love, things. Yeah. Hello, everybody. I love y'all so much. I'm completely on board with you on that. I've always said that you give 100%, not 50%. Everyone else has to give the same, or there'll be holes in your boat and all. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. But here's the thing. I also believe that when you are weak, I am strong. But whenever you are constantly, when one side is constantly poking holes, I can't be strong if you have beat me down, right? And I need you to be strong when I am weak, and it's got to be a two-way street. And again, God, the universe, source, your angels, your spirit team, your soul contract, whatever, it's going to happen exactly like it's supposed to happen. And the longer you try to hold on to that which does not serve you, the longer you will eat yourself up, and then the more you have to start plugging all those holes, right? The more you get treated like Swiss cheese, the more time you're going to find yourself trying to plug all those holes. And if you're like, I talked to you about being an octopus, and that's the image that just came into me of like the holes in the boat. And like at some point you run out of like tentacles, right? You run out of spots to like, you stuck a toe in the hole and you're just sinking. And that's what's going on, I think, for me right now, right? I've chased so many things, and it's very much like, okay, I figured out the money thing. And again, I'm not saying that like I have such abundance of money that I no longer chase it. No, what I know is that every week in and week out, my needs are met. Where there's a will, there's a way. Money comes to me both expected and non-expected ways. Money flows to me easily. I have repaired the relationship with money. I know that I deserve money. I know that it comes to me. I know that I work hard for it, all of those things. I have worked. That was the first work I did, because that was the first thing, is like leaving the day job, being self-employed. That was the stuff that I needed to do for me, because I was getting like those other things were eating me alive, right? So now it's time for like Tammy 3.0, like 2.0 is like got money straight, got my shit together. Now all this other stuff's kind of piling up. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, right? We're constantly working to improve pieces and parts of our life, right? And it's all about the lessons are the blessings, right? The lessons are the blessings. And so many times we get a little bit of both. Some days are a lot more lessons and a few less blessings. But this morning, whenever I was in my feelings, this morning because I didn't sleep last night. All those things came to fruition. I looked through my phone, I looked through my messages. I was like, I get messages from people who are supposed to just be for me, not for business or whatever, when they need something, right? Or when, I've tried to, so and so cancel. Do you have time today to do such and such? Well, no, because you're only calling me because so and so canceled, then I don't have time, right? Now, I looked back at it. Now, some people, I'm the same way. Like, I don't know what's happening in their life. I am not the best, like, keeping up with people. And I'm like, I will own that, right? I will own that. It is your forever journey. And here's the thing, like, just when you think it's safe to go back into the spiritual waters, right? A new piece of shadow work will show up. And, I tell people all the time when I'm talking about like Sunday sermons and self-care is not selfish and self-love is not selfish and how we're supposed to like start taking care of ourselves. These are the pieces and parts of it that nobody wants to talk about. These are the ugly pieces that sometimes, and I have to own my own stuff, right? So I start doing this whole thing and this doubting and the second guessing. So I said, maybe they're going to be, I mean, here's the thing, like I've thought about, I'm like, maybe I'm chasing them, but maybe they've been telling me all along to leave them alone. They've been telling me all along, I'm done with you, step away. Right. So I'm like so worried about what if I don't call? What if I don't do this? What if I don't do that? Am I the bad person? I start doing that. Ego starts kicking in, right? That I'm so important that they just have to want to be my friend and they have to just love the fact that that's what happens, right? So I said, let me stand in the knowing that those that belong to me, those that are meant for me, will be with me. And those things that are not meant to be with me will fall off. And just like I stand in the knowing that money is going to always come, why am I not steadfast in the fact that the love that I deserve in my life is going to come? Right? The love that belongs to me, the thing that is my blessing. This is the lessons, right? These are the lessons, because the love that belongs to you will not be this hard. And you will see the difference, right? And the friendships and sometimes family, you choose it, right? It's not that hard. And don't get me wrong, I have beautiful people in my life, but there's just some things that are not where I want them to be. And I'm trying to realize, is this a lesson or is this a blessing? And sometimes the lesson is hard, but the blessing is beautiful. Right? The harder the lesson, the more beautiful the blessing sometimes. Because usually the harder and the darker it looks, like it's the light and the dark, the contrast, right? The darker the night, the lighter, the brighter the morning, right? The darker the night, the brighter the morning. So those of you who have been through the hardest shit, right? When you start seeing that beautiful daybreak, when you start seeing the sunrise after the dark, that sunrise is going to be more red and bright and brilliant and beautiful, right? And here's the thing. It's just standing in the knowing. It is claiming it with that like confidence and that faith. I think it was it Heather that you have the mustard seed, right? Have the faith that knowing, right? Plant it in the ground. Say, I am going to grow where I am planted. I am going to bloom, and that which belongs to me will come to me, right? That which is mine will be mine. I am worthy of love. I am lovable, right? It's always darkest before dawn. It's always darkest before dawn. So I said to myself last night, stop this stuff, right? Number one, and that's what I'm saying with like edibles and cannabis. And speaking of cannabis, it is wake and bake. I'm awake. Now I'm awake. I'm going to stop this camera. I can still talk to y'all, and now we're going to bake because I need a bowl hit because it's been a tough morning and I need a little medicine. Right? I said I'm going to stand in the knowing that those relationships that are meant for me are going to work themselves out. And I don't have to do the heavy lifting. I've done my part. I am standing solid in the fact that I have done my part in those relationships. I give what I can give in that moment, and what I might be able to give over the next couple of months might not be what I've always given. But in relationships, if it's two ways where you are weak, I am strong, and vice versa, right? So it's okay to not do the heavy lifting for a while. Maybe it was my time to do the heavy lifting, but I'm going to stand in the knowing that if they're meant for me, they're meant for me. And I'm going to do me, and I'm going to take care of myself. And I'm going to give myself the love that I'm craving from others. And then I'm going to attract what I already have, right? Like birds of a feather flock together, right? So if I feel that I have to prove love just to me, then I'm going to project that, right? So I'm going to ask you to, this is where we look inward, right? Look up, ask if you help me do this. And that's what I did. I was like, help me figure out this. And this wake and bake came to me, right? And I said, and here's the thing, right? And I'm learning how to not go from like, I'm going to do everything to I'm going to do nothing. And that's the drastic pendulum swing. And that's where in my entire life, I have gone off the rails. I don't know about y'all, right? It's darkest before dawn. It's the contrast. But here's the thing. When it's darkest before dawn, it doesn't go from the darkest part of the night to noon, right? It doesn't go from the darkest part of the night to noon, the highest part of the sun, right? It's a gradual, beautiful transition through morning, through the twilight of dawn, through the sun rising, through the brightness of the day. Even the universe knows we need time to adjust our eyes because we should be looking upward. If we're looking upward and the sun came in and blinded us, right? So just like everything else in life, it's not either dark or light, right? Sometimes you have to go through that transition period. And that's what I'm doing right now, right? I'm in the sunrise through noon, right? And at noon, that's when everything's going to be okay again, right? But look, it's also a cycle because after noon, the sun starts going down again. And being okay with understanding that things are in cycles and nothing is going to last forever and nothing is permanent. So if you are like, it has been the darkest and longest night, right? Know that that beautiful sunrise is coming. Know that that transition from dark to light is happening. And maybe you're not in the darkest part of your night. Maybe you've been in the darkest part of your night, right? I know that I'm not in the darkest part of the night. I'm somewhere in the sunrise, right? I'm understanding that I can see the light, right? I know that there's something more out there. And that's the metaphorical light, right? Because I'm able to identify this and work through this and make this work. And I don't know where you are, right? So if you are been on this journey, I know Heather's been on this journey for a while. I know that people have been on this journey for a while. Maybe you're not in the darkest part of your night before, right? Maybe you're starting to see the light peek through the nighttime. Maybe you're starting to see the sunrise. But if you're not, I want you to stand in the knowing that the sunrise is coming, right? And it's all in divine time because I don't care how much I try to force the sunshine at nighttime, I can't do it, right? When the world needs to be dark, it's dark. And when the world needs to be light, it's light. And when it's dark in one place, it's light somewhere else. And you have to stand in the knowing that when it's your time to see the sun, it's going to come to you. And at some point, the sun always comes back. You know, they say, tomorrow, the sun will come out. Tomorrow, right? Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. We can always look for tomorrow. But the key is to stick around for tomorrow, right? We've got to keep getting up, keep putting one foot in front of the other, and never give up. And like I say all the time, like, even on these dark days, even on these darkest days when I am a hot ass mess and I'm in my feelings and I hurt, and that's what happens, right? Everything kind of piles up and you get that snowball rolling down the hill. So I said this morning, let me stop, right? Let me stop, had to interrupt, and be able to break out of that, stop the momentum, understand what's happening, and put it into some words. And if I'm feeling this way, I guarantee you, and it's something that I'm pushed and happens to me, And that's what I tell people, like, you know what? It kind of sucks because all these things keep happening. And I'm like, is this just to give me something to talk about? Because I will shut the hell up. If life can get real easy, I will shut the hell up. And Source was like, you need to continue. You have people you still have contracts with that you need to reach out to, that need to see and live through your lessons, right? Your lesson might be somebody else's blessing. And that's what I'm like, well, I guess I got to come cry on fucking live. Pardon my language. But that's how I felt this morning. I was like, really? And that's how it happens, right? So now in my journal, because in my journal I was writing it to the people that had hurt me, and I put there, if you're reading this and you think it's about you, then it is. Don't call me to try to talk about it. Actions speak louder than words. So if you're watching this, you think it's about you, understand, I don't need a call, don't need a text. I need you to start acting, right? Start walking the walk. And what I used to say all the time last year, because I had a group of women who I mentor and coach for my other business. I'm an advanced director of Pure Romance, so I have like 20 some women on my team that I business coach on top of all the other things, right? And I have not been the greatest at that, and I know that. But I've told them, if you need me, come to me. I'm not going to chase you. If you need me, I am here. And I've stood in that relationship pattern, right? It's a business relationship. I can handle that. It's those like interpersonal ones that get me every time. It's the business stuff I can handle, but it's those real life, like, and here's the thing, like, it's that. It's just, I'm ridiculous. I know. But in doing that, I used to tell them all the time. I don't want you to tell me. I was like, look, don't talk about it. Be about it. We can all talk about what we're going to do, but you have to do it, right? Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk. And I appreciate you saying the words, because if you say the words, that's step one, because you know what to do. Now take action, right? I believe that's one of the things I used to say. So I have a couple of mantras that I go by. I'm glad you're here because you don't just help me, you help those around me, because I share your. Oh, I'm so very thankful for that, Heather. Thank you very much for sharing that. And I always say that not everything is for everybody, but that the people that are supposed to hear this message always hear this message. And sometimes I'm talking to myself, and that's what happens sometimes, right? But don't talk about it, be about it, right? And then I used to always tell them also, is like, speak what you see, speak what you seek until you see what you said. Let me write that in the banner, because that's a really good mantra to have. And that's how you say it, right? Speak what you seek until you see what you said. And that is something that I have been, hang on, let me hide that. Let me go back in here. I just deleted it. I created the banner and then I deleted it. Speak what, I have this whole like little program here. Speak. And banner. Boom. Speak what you seek until you see what you said, right? And that is, to me, it's like, take action, right? You can say it, speak it until you see it, right? Speak it until you see it. That's what you need to do, right? And so I believe very diligently in that, right? But it's also about taking actionable steps and doing something with the information that you know. Don't talk about it, be about it. So for me, I have to not I'm a doer. I'm a giver, all the things, right? But if I stop chasing and I stand in the knowing that which belongs to me, and if I hold boundaries to only accept that which I I can't get the words out. My brain it was channeled and it just went out of my head. It was not me, apparently. Melanie says, you give completely awesome, needed, loving, and real advice to us all. Your messages are always needed for someone. You're burning your candle at both ends and in the middle. Give yourself some grace and love. Let your cup be filled up. And that's the thing, is that I've been trying to honor boundaries on the weekends and taking the time off on the weekends. And I'm going to do that this weekend. I didn't do it so great last weekend. And I am tired. And I am burning candles and things. But here's the thing, right? I'm doing it. And that's what I'm telling you. Stop. I need to stop talking about it and start being about it and practice what I preach. And that's what the whole message is, right? Is that I 100% know that. That is the exact advice I would give you if you were telling me the same things I'm telling you. And I love, love, love that you can give it back to me, and I appreciate it. And I'm like, I know. And that's what kills me. Like, I'm doing the same thing. Like, I know, Tammy, I know. And I'm like, well, do it. Right. And that's where I'm at with me. And it's so frustrating when it's me, right? It's like, damn it, it's me. Like, I have to like physician heal thyself, right? So on that note, that is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to bake off these cookies. I've got a couple of people picking up and delivering today. I'm going to set with this recipe that I'm doing, and I'm very excited about this recipe, and I'm excited to try it. I'm going to also, I'm making 3 of them. I'm making one today, which when I get all the ingredients at the store today, I'm going to come home and I'm going to make one that is completely undosed. It is just for us at our house. It is this decadent 5-layer pound cake situation. It's got all kinds of coconut, lemon, and rum and butter and all the things in it. And then I'm going to practice this without any kind of material, like raw material, and just with butter, regular butter. And then on Monday, I'm going to make the first of these cakes for the order. And then the end of the week, I'll make the second one. I'm going to lunch with my cousin and cousins today. And I am going to come back here, and I am legitimately going to sit on my ever-loving rear end. Might run a batch of butter. I might not. I might just chill out today. I kill myself because I get so tired that I have to go work hard, but I'm going to get a schedule next week. I'm going to figure it all out. Everything's going to be fine. But I'm going to speak what I seek right now, right? Is peace and health and filling up my cup until I see what I said, until I hopefully on Monday I can feel myself again. And here's the thing, like, I'm one of those quick filler uppers, right? Bounty, the quicker picker uppers, Bounty, right? I'm one of those people, like, my cup goes empty, but there's something small can fill it up. Like, going to lunch today will fill me up. Tuesday, I'm taking off Tuesday afternoon because I'm going to get a new hair did, all the eyebrows, all the things done. And that's going to fill me up. It's going to do something for me. I'm going to, do the things. When you have time, can you send a message or post all the info for where else on social platforms you are? Yes. So when y'all let me show you something so y'all know you have, I changed my office up. I'm officially Hometown Hippie now. So when you get your orders, I had these postcards printed so I could save a little bit of time, and I really love the format, the appearance of them. So but if you click on the back of this takes you to everything social media. If you can click on that right now with your phones, if you're on there, this will take you to TikTok, Instagram, my website, as well as the order form. There's even a button that says add to contacts, which puts me in your phone. All my stuff in your phone. So that is an easy way. You can share this with friends. If you know how to get in touch with me, share this card with them. And if they tell me that they got your information I do pay for referrals. So let them know to drop your name in the comments for your referral bonuses, I guess, what you say. Let me respond to her. Yes, I am going to town at 11 for lunch, but will be home around 2. Okay. Okay. So Facebook is being stupid. I'll subscribe to YouTube channel because Facebook stopped live notification for your group. I don't know why now. YouTube. Okay, so yes, go subscribe on YouTube. It's just Tammy Deskins Nelson, I think. I don't know how to I don't know how to get the link. I need to do that. I have 4 subscribers on YouTube, and my goal is by the end of the year to have at least 1,000. So if y'all could share my YouTube, Heather, can you share my YouTube in the page for me? Do you know how to do that? I don't know how to do that. But it'll be awesome if y'all can watch me on YouTube. And Facebook is just being stupid in general. I don't know what the problem is with them. But yeah, that's why I have been branching out to other places, because I don't want Facebook to kind of screw me over. And hopefully y'all, hopefully, it'll all work itself out, and the website will be easy to work and all the things. Yeah, that's fine. I will figure it out too. I just didn't know if you were in there, if you could just copy it and pop it in. I didn't know if you know how to do that. So on that note, y'all, I want you to go out this weekend and do what Melanie tells us to do, right? Do what Melanie tells us to do. If you are burning your candle at both ends and in the middle, give yourself some grace and love. Let your cup be filled up, right? Go out this weekend and fill your cup up. I'm going to do that. I'm taking today off pretty much. I'm going to go bake these cookies, take a shower, go eat lunch, all the things. And then I am going to chill out. Yeah, so I did follow that schedule. 9 o'clock on Friday mornings, 9 o'clock on Monday mornings. Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock, Thursdays at 4:20, and then Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. I'm going fishing. I love it. My husband, his happy place is fishing as well. The ocean is definitely my happy place, and I need to go see it. And I really thought about, I was in such a mood this morning that I'm like, I'm going to take the truck when my husband gets home. I'm just going to pack a bag today, and I'm going to tell him that I need the weekend to just be alone and to take a deep breath and to take a bubble bath with Epsom salt by myself and just eat, smoke pot, and sleep all weekend long at a hotel by the ocean. I need to go find a cheap, nice hotel with the ocean view, sit on the balcony and smoke weed all weekend long and order delicious food and just lay in bed. And then I was like, he would lose his ever-loving mind. He would flip the F out. It would be a fight that I don't want to have. I was like, but man, that would be nice. Just to go away for the weekend. And I'm like, I'm not having that fight. It's like, damn. I was like, next week will be harder than it needs to be if I had that fight. But I would love to just go sit and look at the ocean. I would take my chair and a blanket and just go sit down there and watch it. And I'd even drive far south. I'd go at least to Myrtle probably to get some warmth. But that's a story for another day. Okay, y'all. I gotta go cook these cookies. I've got to go get a shower because I have lunch date and I've got an hour to do all of that. And I'm always late to everything. I'm late to the party. So on that note, thank y'all today for being here today. Thank you for sending me the love that I need to know that I don't have to chase it, right? We all need a tribe. And that's what the Grateful Fed community is all about, is being there for one another and holding space and sending love and light. And we are birds of a feather, so we flock together. Now, any order placed today is going, unless I have it in stock, I have some stuff in stock, will be Monday going out. I'm done for the weekend, right? I'm done for the weekend. I'm taking some time. I've got some orders filled. All the things are done. Everything's caught up, right? I'm not just leaving y'all high and dry. Everything that everybody needs something, got it. But anything placed today, it's already 10. It's gonna be Monday. It is, and I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. It's just what it is, right? And know that I do have a few things in stock. So if it's chocolate chip cookies, some Love Spell cookies, brownies, I got you. But some suckers, I even have some gummies. I have some things, right? But it's going to be Monday. So on that note, I thank you all for being here today. I appreciate you all for being my tribe, for lifting me up, for lifting each other up, for being a place of refuge and respite. I want you to go out this weekend and make it a great weekend. If you need to fill your cup up, fill your cup up. If you need to start learning that all is well and all is divine, take some time for you this weekend. Remember to speak what you seek until you see what you said. Don't talk about it, be about it. And remember, peace, love, and feast. And as always, stay elevated. And I will see y'all Sunday morning.